All right, I'm going to get started. My name is Paul Krofssik, here at Digital Watchdog. On the main screen here, my email is down at the bottom, paulk@digital-watchdog.com. If you have any further questions or comments after the webinar. But speaking of questions, please use the Q&A tab and put some questions in there. And at the end of the webinar, I will try to answer them or have, reply to you and answer you after the webinar, just in case they're a super long answer or maybe something I don't know the answer to. So we'll get started. And there are still actually people coming in, but we'll get started. So today we're going to talk about our cloud optimized video archiving, NVR, and the myDW service it works with. So a couple things. We're going to discuss what is COVA, why choose a COVA unit, the DW Mobile Plus app integration, the ease of install, some of the AI integration and alerts, the video sharing features, and maybe some upcoming features of the system. So the COVA units are a gateway recording solution, meaning this product records locally, but it has a cloud management and cloud storage option, okay? No local monitor is needed. When you plug the COVA in, you connect it to a router. Man, I cannot talk today. I apologize. You connect it to a router. You connect the COVA to myDW using the DW Mobile Plus app, and the setup is about 4 screens, and then the system is online and ready to be connected to. We're going to talk about this more. It is a true web-based client. There is no VMS to download, no plugin. It's accessible from any web browser. So if you have a tablet, Chromebook, iPad, your phone, everything is in the cloud and easier to connect to. And also, it has a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. And what that means is it covers power button on the back, covers the PoE, covers the board inside, covers the hard drive, covers all the functionality of the unit itself. So that is also a huge plus. So you're choosing a COVA for a bunch of reasons. One, again, easy setup, user-friendly interface. It is on the cloud. It is fully, endlessly scalable, okay? And we can do seamless integrations, and has seamless integration right now into other stuff, which we'll talk about in a moment. The features of choosing a COVA is it has an Identity AI feature, which we're going to talk about a lot, the video share on myDW, thumbnail search, how to manage cameras, which is basically you just plug them in the back of the unit, and we'll get to that in a second, centralized user management on myDW, and then push notifications. The COVA itself is going to come with 12 months of a myDW subscription. And again, we'll talk more about that in a bit. So the next thing is security, okay? Our IP surveillance equipment and management software, we sell it worldwide. It's designed and developed in the US and Korea, and manufacturing is done in Korea. We are fully qualified to go on the GSA schedule. We support multi-factor authentication, and we're a SOC 2 Type 2 compliant company, okay? Cloud service provider, which means the data is as secure as it can be when left with us, all right? What is COVA, okay? So your COVA unit comes with a 12-month DW subscription, which includes 16 gig of cloud storage if you get a 16-channel unit. If you have an 8-channel unit, there's 8 gigs of cloud storage. A 4-channel unit, 4 gig of cloud storage, because you get a gig per channel. And again, we'll talk about how the video share works. You have the video share, the health monitoring, CVV reports. So CVV reports are camera view verification. This is probably worth the myDW subscription, okay, even though it's free for a year, by itself. Because what this does is this monitors your camera from obstructions, tampering with, getting dirty, things going wrong in the field, and will inform either you as the integrator or the end user or the end user's team that then goes out and decides what they want to do with these. So there are all kinds of reports that do it. And we have cloud storage attached to it. So a bunch of the features are complete install in minutes, setup and configuration via the Mobile Plus app. You can skip the local monitor. Now, if you want to use the local monitor, you can plug it in and see your 4, 8, or 16 channels on a screen. So you can actually use it as a spot monitor if you wish. We have a HDMI connection on the back of all of them. So you can record and manage any single sensor IP cameras at 30 frames a second up to 8K cameras. All right. 16 gig of myDW cloud storage for clip share, includes a 12-month subscription to myDW services, and told you a little bit about that already. It has the PoE built in, and the PoE is accessible via myDW, via the web browser, so you can actually go in and manage the PoE switch itself. Remote user and event management via myDW, and you can upload clips with basically one button via clip share to the cloud storage, and up to 32 terabytes of local storage. Now, it is compatible with any ONVIF compatible camera. We're going to recommend our V-Class or X-Class cameras because they have the best analytics built into them. And part of this system is using the analytics, okay? So again, you can do live playback, video archiving, searching for events, all that via the web client. You can create static and dynamic live camera views. You can get event notification and system health reports via myDW. I'm going to show you some of those. Identity video analytics detects people and vehicles. You can do two-way audio communication. You have local alarm sensor input and output. That is on the 16-channel unit. If you want I/O, you need to have the 16-channel unit only. Full NDAA compliant, comes with the rack mount ears, and again, the 5-year warranty. So this is a little summary slide, up to 32 terabytes of storage, a 4, 8, and 16-channel unit. Remotely accessible with the user management, the clip sharing, live view playback, and again, our Identity event search. So these are, that's the hardware, okay? So it is an NVR you install on the site, you plug the cameras into, the external monitor is optional, there is a mouse and stuff like that. But really what you're going to do is you're going to plug it into their local network, and if their network has Wi-Fi, okay, you're going to be able to go to the setup, because the setup is headless and designed to run from the mobile app, okay? Now, if they don't have a local Wi-Fi in there, okay, there is an adapter you'd have to get for your phone and plug the adapter into the network and plug the Ethernet cable into the phone. But there are other ways around this, including just using a web browser to set up. But I'm going to show you the phone setup because everyone has a phone. Most everyone has these systems plug into a router, a Wi-Fi router, okay? And there are really four screens, okay? Plug it in. It says it's on the internet. You use your phone to detect it. It locates the NVR, and then you register it, okay? But we're going to go through and actually show you live. So this is the setup screen. It's going to scan for units, okay? My recorder's powered on. My recorder's connected. The blue lights are on. It's going to see the device on the same network. It's going to locate the recorder, and I'm just going to hit pause here, okay? So it located the recorder. You can also do a manual connect, okay? Meaning it's on a different subnet somewhere on the network. It's a little more complicated than just being on the same subnet as your thing. You can do a manual connect and still find the recorder, okay? It's going to search it out. We're going to continue play, and then it's going to ask you to put in your default username and password for the admin user. So you can do this. You can do this in conjunction with the end user. Okay, so we know what the default admin user and password is. You can't see it on here. I'm not going to tell you. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll tell you that much, or 7, 8, 9. All right, now here's another spot. I'm just going to pause it. We're right now getting from the router our IP address, subnet mask, and gateway, and DNS. Again, you can manually put in the information in here. Okay. Obtain the DNS automatically. Nope, we're going to put the DNS in, change the IP address, whatever you want to do. So you could still do the manual stuff. The whole idea, though, is you're putting this thing in a network, the network supplying it some information, and that information may have to be provisioned by their IT department, but you can go in and get this thing started right away, fast. Okay, so we're going to continue on. It's going to go down. We've got our internal IP for the PoE ports. Okay, so that's what we're going to send out to the camera. And then here is the organizational ID and information you're going to put in to fully register this system with myDW. Then we're going to let it go through, and then it's going to find the camera. So I'm going to click registered cameras, and I already had the cameras plugged into this. So it showed a digital Watchdog camera, VTSB04MI, its IP address, manufacturer's name, the firmware version number, and status it's online. So it's going to detect the cameras automatically, already knows they're there. Okay. And this will work with OnVIF cameras, but we're using our cameras because we have very good AI built into our camera. But let's say you have what it's called an unregistered camera. It sees a camera there, can't quite figure out what it is. Maybe it can't register its new password, okay, to it. It can't log into it. So you can go in and put a username and password in, have it scan again, and then it will pick up those cameras. It can't figure out quite what they are. All right, so you have the registered, unregistered cameras detected. Then it's going to give you this page, which is the same as over here. And the Mobile Plus app will also work with our Spectrum system and will actually allow you to log into the Spectrum app directly from here, along with our Digital Watchdog G4 product. So COVA, G4, and Spectrum all can be seen from inside the app. And then, of course, you click on your Tampa office, and then these are going to load, and you can display 4 cameras, 9 cameras, 16 cameras, all the different views, which we'll show you in a second. But what I'm doing is I'm going through and showing you, whoops, went too fast here, this menu. So we went to quick setup for COVA. We're going to go to help. We're going to go to notifications from myDW. But next, we're going to open myDW web. Now, I haven't showed you the setup and the web view of myDW yet, but you've registered your unit. You can now go in and hit myDW web, and you can see your recorders. You can see alerts. You can go to video share, the reports we're going to talk about, and even edit users, okay? If you're an administrator. If you're not an administrator, some of these things obviously don't show up. But we can go in here and see different alerts, which we don't have. Here's our video share, mobile-friendly style, okay? Again, we'll keep going. We can see our reports. So we've got our CVV report, our camera view report. I'll show you a little more of that later. Health report, inventory report. So after you're done doing an installation, you can go in and look at the inventory, look at the cameras that are hooked up to it, and different items that were used on the installation that myDW can see. This is the CVV report. So what this report's doing is it's comparing a nighttime view with the current view, and then a daytime view with the current view, and seeing if anything is too far off. The camera got blurry. There's a spider sitting on top of it. Someone spray painted it, something like that. So again, you can see the CVV reports, not just from a main PC. You can see them from a tablet, or you can see them from here, all while accessing the Mobile Plus app. So we'll let this drive along. I'm just going through all 6 cameras here. We luckily have no alerts. I can see the users, okay, and edit the users because I'm an administrator. Okay. And this is just going to replay that, but you can get to myDW web from there. So the app is a very important component of the COVA system. Okay. Now, next is help. Oh, sorry. Next is allow notifications. So we can allow notifications from the a COVA unit, myDW, into the app. So this way, again, You have someone we're using the AI, someone's near part of the building, they're not supposed to be at that time of day, you're going to get an alert from from the from myDW and the COVA unit. And then, of course, this is the supported units. So we support COVA, the G4, A1 G4, also any Spectrum server. Okay. So the myDW system supports a lot of different hardware products, including what we're talking about today, COVA. And now also we have built-in help that's using our digital watchdog AI, Dwayne, and you can type in a natural language request. Like I wanted to see the manual. So I said, can you find the link to the COVA manual? I didn't capitalize anything or anything. I click it and it brought me to the manual and the quick setup guide. So again, built-in help that, you can kind of don't have to be too specific on, or you're clicking a tree of different things to try to find your information you want. You can find it using Dwayne. It gets a lot of use, and now it's sort of built into that app. So any questions, you can go in and just have the help, the Dwayne help you. It is trained on all DW documentation, so it will give you some surprising answers, like you can ask about our TSP streams and integrations and things like that, and it will spit out the information for you. And now here's the real reason you're using the unit, you're using myDW, and you're using the app, is live view and playback. You can go in there, find video you want, live view, connect to, again, different systems. You click search by day, date, and time. All right, go in and find the video and the information that you wanted. With more features coming, by the way, we're building on this thing. You can edit the name of the cameras, can do all kinds of different things with this app. Very simple, easy to use. We try to make it as simple as possible. So the features of the DW mobile app and COVA, you can access your video surveillance systems remotely. You don't have a limit on the number of sites you can have. If someone has, I don't know, 150 pizza parlors, they can have all 150 on the list there and either search for them by name or go in and, scroll through and find them. Remote setup of COVA recorders, NVRs, of course, access to the live and archive video on any system, push notifications, easy to use. I can't show it to you because we set up our COVA demo unit and we were using the V-class and X-class cameras, and I didn't have a PTZ on hand to put up, but we'll put a PTZ on our demo site. So if anyone wants to see that, we'll have a PTZ cameras come. And also supports audio from the recorder from the camera. So if the camera has audio capabilities, you'll get audio from the cameras. So the COVA unit itself, we talked about the app, okay? And I'm actually skipping a couple of screens because this is your web browser view from the COVA unit itself. So you can see we've got 6 cameras up here. We've got our playback, our time bar. And again, there's no need for a bulky VMS, as it says. There's no plugins. We've tested with all major brands and some smaller brands of web browsers that just requires Chromium support. So again, this can be accessed from the web browser that's built into our Spectrum product, okay? So it can be really used anywhere. I've tested it on Chromebooks, tested it on those small sort of cheap, tablets you get for your kids, things like that. So it's very, very good, and it doesn't need any extra thing to work, okay? Part of the functionality, though, is you have a full GIS map view. And by the way, this is the default view, okay? Now you can change the default view, but this is the default view. So you have your map of all your sites, okay? So, the assumption is, you have a end user with 20 sites. He may want them on a map and they're in the state of Ohio or the state of Texas or whatever. And he'll see a map view, which he can drill down on and look at his sites. But maybe, it's a smaller setup. Okay. If you notice, each of these things have a different color on them. Green means it's healthy. Orange means there's something going on. And red means it may actually be down or maybe a serious problem. And so you can just click on one and see what the problem is. And again, we'll get into more of that in a bit. So you can also make this your default view. So again, we've got two sites on this particular organization, okay? Our Tampa demo and our Cerritos demo. And this can be made the default view. I can still see if there's any problems with the site, if something offline, okay? I can get the same information as on the other screen. It's just this different view. And then to connect to the site, I click web and it brings me directly to that site, okay? And again, we showed it to you before, but this is then the COVA view from the web browser. All right, so you have the playback screen, video share, live. You can zoom in and out on the timeline and see humans. You can see your vehicles, motion, alarm input triggers, things like that on here. So again, and then I'm gonna show you how all this functions, so don't worry about it. But also, let's say you wanted to do setup on the COVA unit and I don't know, you're having something going on with your phone or something, you can actually do the setup on the local side. So this is the assumption is you can plug into the network because there's a built-in setup wizard local. So that means when you fire the machine up, this is going to appear and you're going to click next and it's going to be set up and then you click next and it's going to ask you for your language. You're going to go into, put in your, time zone, time. If you're going to manually adjust it, you're going to sync it to an NPT server, time server, whatever. Now, next is you're going to create an admin password. This is the same as on the app. You're creating the admin username and password. The assumption is you're getting DHCP information, your IP address and all that stuff from the router. If something manually has to be put in, you can manually put it in here also. All right. And then this is the screen, and I'm going to pause it here, from the COVA unit. Okay. So I did that first part, and now I can go in and register my device. I already have this one registered with a organization number, the myDW ID tied to that organization, and then the password. And it says registration complete. And now what we're doing here is I've just plugged in a camera to number 6, okay? And it's finding it, but it's saying offline, online, because it's now negotiating with it and trading information between it and Spectrum. And we'll just let it go, and we'll see offline again. Then it'll come online. We're just going to wait for it. It'll come online, and it's giving me a version number, which is the firmware, okay? The name, the IP camera name, and this all can be changed, by the way. You can, we'll just let this thing roll through because there's another spot here I want to show you. So I'm pausing it. So built in here is it's going to by default create a strong password for it, which is !A plus the MAC address, but you can change that. So its default username and password that goes into the camera is different. Maybe something similar, maybe simpler, maybe something your you guys use to manage these things. Okay. So you don't want to use our password, but that is the password thing. We have this all documented, by the way, on our website, but that's how the system communicates with the camera. It detects them, changes the default username and password, and then begins streaming the video down to the unit itself. So we'll let this play through a little bit. And over here, whoops, I'm going to bring it down to the end again. Sorry, guys. See, this thing says scan. So this is, again, there might be a camera listed here that it can't log into. And then you can just go in and put the proper username and password for that thing. Click add selected, and the camera's logged in. This is live physically at the unit itself, and that's all it does, okay? You'll get live video, okay? So it can be used as a spot monitor or whatever. You can actually make this side go away, all right? That all disappears, and it's just a live view. So you can plug a monitor into it, but you're going to use it as a spot monitor. It's designed to be managed and looked at via web browser, basically headlessly. So this is one of the default screens. When you logged into your myDW portal, you just left it at this. You have your default screen, and so this is an organization we had set up, which has 2 recorders in it, one in Cerritos, one in Tampa, Florida. Okay, just very simple. Probably for me, I would want more of that list view, which I'll show you in a second. But one of the things you get when you do use the different views is I can go in and look at the health of this thing at a glance. I can click on it and I can either see my alerts, or I can see, yes, well, if I'm connecting to it, it's probably hooked up to the internet, but I can see how much power the PoE is using, what's the throughput. These dials are live, how much cloud storage we've used up. Okay, so you can get different live views based on what you want to do. You may want, again, the map view, see the site, click on the site, click connect, and you're connecting to it. Again, you see this little thing that says web, and you connect to it and you connect directly to that unit. Okay, or you may want a more, I don't know, put it, detailed view. We have a widget view, which is really like a report view. So you can see there's 12 organizations here. There's 50 recorders. There's 1,400 cameras. There's 41 alerts. And you can go in and look at the alerts. Camera might be out. Internet might be down on that, the whole thing, on a whole site, whatever the case may be. So this gives you a more of a detailed, if you're managing the health and services of your machines. Me, for simpler setups, I like the list view because I've got my 2 recorders. I know where they are, okay? And when I click on one, I go and connect right to the recorder, all right? And then I can go in and see my playback, live view, and I actually set this one. I'm going to pause it one second. I created one called default 6 cameras. I just wanted to see these 6 cameras. It's really the 9-camera view. I just put the 6 cameras in it on whatever order I wanted them in, all right? We'll just keep going. We've got our live view. Can see motion events in yellow, human, vehicle, sensor, and then continuous record. If there's audio from any of them, I can uncheck it, raise and lower the volume. Okay, and then direct access to video share. It is one mouse button click. When you're in playback, you go one mouse button click on video share, and you can share the clip from any camera you're playing back. This unit happens to be set for motion and AI detection. I believe I reset it recently, so it's only detecting AI events. All right. And our next one is this. You got the 3 tabs over here. And again, I'm going to stop it. You got the 3 tabs that give you your channel view. You've got your history, which gives you a thumbnail view, and then you have your identity. Okay. So if I go over here and we'll let it run, you can see the history is the thumbnail view. Okay, so I can go to different days, look at the different events based on the thumbnail. This was when it was set at motion, so I've got a lot of, palm trees waving and stuff like that. And see, we'll pause it. We'll pause it right here. See, light changes, palm trees, because I didn't set it for the analytic events. But you can get a thumbnail view and work it that way. Then the other tab, which we're going to jump to, is the identity tab. And the identity is using AI, taking AI data from the different cameras. Okay, so I've got an MT95, I've got a couple of V classes on here, and I'm seeing vehicles, or I'm seeing humans. And then in the last hour, and we're searching for humans, and we've got these guys who are literally across the street, and you'll see in a second how small these guys are right over here. And it's a good 80, 90 feet away. No problem detecting him, even though he was over by there. So the accuracy is pretty high on this thing, I have to say. So the identity allows you to do searches by human and vehicle, okay, and get alerts from these events. And as you can see, people walking by. We've got our guy Jeff walking by the building over here, and so on. So identity is a great feature uh, part of the COVA use. So Identity is using the AI in the cameras. Our V-Class and X-Class camera have built-in AI. The V-Class is the deep learning the X-Class is the deep learning AI built into it, but it will send the data from the camera, and these are all surprisingly accurate. So I'm doing another search now, and I'm going to bring up a guy here in a second who's relatively close to the camera, maybe 40, 50 feet from the camera, and he's just going to be closing the van door of some vehicle here. I'm just searching through for something sort of interesting to check out. There's that guy. See, and he's over there and he closes the van door. Okay, again, even though he was behind the van door, behind the vehicle, camera picked him up just fine. But now I see these guys at the ladder. I'm gonna say, let's see if I can go a little farther away. And these guys are over there. Over there. Look at that. I mean, just real good accuracy. The ladder didn't bother it, anything, and he's just going to carry it away. And there's it. So one of the ways you use the identity, okay, is if you want to also pair it with clip sharing. So I did a little search at night, and I was seeing the people detection, but it was picking up all these people on these little scooters and electric bicycles. So again, I was just kind of perusing through it, and I said, this is kind of an interesting one, this guy on this bike. The light's not that good. The camera's not set in, IR mode. He's coming by a little blurry because it's color. So it's trying to keep the aperture opened up to bring the color in. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see a little more of that. So what I did was I chose it and I said, I want to upload that to the clip share and share it. So I looked at the time. It automatically put the time in. It gave me the exact time of the event. I can choose whether I want to do mainstream or that. And now I'm going to add 10 seconds to either side of it. So I get a little more, whatever you call it, context or whatever in there. And I'm going to type in what it is. I think I go up and actually put in the person first. But there we go. Bike and scooter or something by building, and then I choose, there we go, that, and then I click upload, and this is, by the way, real-time upload. So it sits there just an extra second or two at the last little bit, and it uploads, and your mileage will be varied. Sometimes it'll go up fast, and if you're on slow internet, it'll go up slow, but video share is complete. So I've now shared it up there. Now I can then click the same tab. So again, I've got my myDW map view, my list view, my alerts. I can just click here to this video share icon and I can see video share. See, I've got scooter and bike, right? Camera. These are all the tags that have been created. And there's the one I created. And we're just going to go back to that one in a second, but you'll allow you to see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be jumping directly from the map screen into video share. So I'm on the map screen. Now I'm in the video share screen, and you notice it gives you a thumbnail of the actual car going by, and it was created by Paul Krofssik. It gives you the day, date, and time. Now I'm going to add someone to share that to. So I've got Paul K at dwcc.tv, which is me, but I'm going to share it to him. And I'm just putting nighttime video in there or something. And then I set an expiration date. I can allow or not allow downloads. All right. I can turn off the share. Okay. I can delete the video from the share. It's still on the recorder. Okay. Here are the tags. All right. I can pop it up full screen and play it in there. So the video share is the second most powerful feature. I think the CVV is the most powerful feature for the integrator, but for the end user, the video share, because let's say you needed to share things with with someone, but you don't want to share full access to the recorder for whatever reason. You could say, what do you want to see? You want to see this, this, and this. Okay, I'm going to send you the video clips. I'm going to put a couple seconds before, a couple seconds after. So this way you get a good idea of what it is. And they receive an email, something like this. Okay. But the email, okay, has verification built into it. So now if they go to watch the video, okay, Rami over here is going to get a code in his email, and they got to put it in there and make sure the right person is opening it up. Okay, so we have authentication on the video share side, COVA from myDW to whoever's going to open it up. So again, so COVA is really a true hybrid solution. Okay, you can record locally, access it remotely, no local monitor required, web client, and when you're a full web client, okay, complete management via myDW. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, but it has not only can you connect to the unit, playback video, download the video, you can get health reports from the system or systems. Okay, you can get actionable information, meaning, oh, look at that, they're having trouble with that camera. It's, all dirty, or someone came along with a pressure washer and basically messed up the lens on the camera. I'll see if I can go out there and get that fixed, right? It's you can use a single cloud-based dashboard to go in and do it. So it's a really powerful management system. And some of this stuff is the reports. So again, we're going through here and seeing cameras, you got your recordings, you got your system health, right? How much storage is on the system. It really gives you a lot of information if you want it. So there's, again, different types of integrators and different types of end users. Some end users don't want to see this. They just want to know the recorder's running and whatever, and you're going to manage it for them. Okay. All right. So here's I'm going to actually just let this play. So you have different types of reports. You've got an inventory report. Okay. So you click on it. Come on, click on it, Paul. There we go. And you're going to show these happen to be all Spectrum systems with myDW running and managing them in the background. Okay. So 45 recorders, 1,000 cameras. All right. But I can also look at the health report. Okay. See the recorder health. What's going on with it? Is there camera loss detection? Is there something coming in from the hard drive? See, we've got camera loss on this system. All right. And so on. I get the same information from a COVA system as I do from a Spectrum system because they all work together basically the same way. All right. Now, again, camera view verification. This gives you a little more deep dive into it and how it looks. CVV tracks and alerts you if there's an obstruction, change of lighting, spray paint on the camera, spider webs, blurriness. Again, the call I've seen a lot is the guy with the pressure washer saying, clean it off the camera and just blasting the camera with it. And then this shows you your alerts, your different cameras, what's going on with them. Has something changed? Is something obstructing the camera? So when you get the report, you get a link to the CVV report, and it brings you right to your myDW page with your CVV report in it. Okay, and you can see I have one sent to me every day, and I just look at it. And yep, everything looks fine. But let's say I've got my reference image, and then there was something blurry. I would not have gotten this report. I would have gotten an alert saying a problem with the camera. So it wouldn't wait to send me the report. Is the other thing. You can get a CVV report when there is an alert. It just happens to be there's no alert. So also remote user management. All right. So again, I was showing you a map view that had a whole bunch of cameras on it. And then I showed you a map view that had, recorders on it. Then I showed you a map view with 2 recorders on it. Okay. And the nice thing about using myDW is I want to add a user to one site. I can just add a user to one site. But if I want to add a user to the whole organization and I've got 10 sites, 50 sites, 100 sites, I can add that user to the whole organization at one time. I don't have to log into different systems. I don't have to do whatever. It truly allows you to push that connection and authentication with the same security, doing things one time. And so this is what the users on that little one look like. Okay, I can go in and edit them. There may be a description on here. We weren't much with descriptions on here, but this is for our demo system. Okay, And you can add a user. You'll add a user. So it showed you Paul K at dwcc.tv. I then put in my name, information, whether I'm going to receive email alerts or not, receive reports, or receive push notifications. Maybe some people just have to view the cameras at their desk. They're the guy in the shipping department. He's got 5 cameras in his shipping department. He doesn't need to see that other stuff. It says shipping department on it. He can only really live view, can't do anything else. So when he logs into the web browser, he only sees his 4, 5, or 6 cameras. He may not even be able to play back. Okay. So the other thing about security is all of our connections are encrypted. Okay. So any communication, phone to there, web browser to COVA, COVA to myDW, it's all encrypted. It's all part of keeping your information and data secure. We also have a whole rule system for identity. So identity can send you also events. I know I showed you how you can do a search for events, but also it'll send identity events to a phone, to email, or to whatever. So if a human's in the wrong place at the wrong time, you'll get an alert on it. Okay. Sort of a little bit of a summary, but we're going to go into more stuff shortly, is you can go search, remote manage. Again, all you need is a web browser. Okay. We did a color coding index to make it easy to find video and to find events. Full system configuration via the web. By the way, I didn't go into it because I thought it might take a little too long, but you can also go in and go to the web page of the camera if you needed to change something at the camera for whatever reason. And a matter of fact, let me see if this works. Dun, dun, dun. So this is actually a live view of the COVA list view. Here's our map view. Here's our alerts. Again, we're got it kind of clean here. Alerts, video share. So again, we go up here to video share, bike going by office. Okay. Got our reports. So we can look at my CVV report for Tampa, and then I can go in and add a user. So this is all very easy for you to use either as a single box at a site using the advanced features of myDW, or multiple sites. And, you've had trouble in the past with cameras getting tampered with, damaged. I live in Florida, so there is a chance of lightning hitting stuff, especially in the greater Tampa Bay area. So there's that. So all kinds of things can go wrong, and this system allows you to monitor either the health of the units or just go in, live view, playback, search for video, and get alerts. And one of the ways we're having you guys do this is we have a whole myDW video library under help. Okay. We add to it all the time. So you can go through myDW setup. We also have COVA setup ones about reports, alerts, alert rules, many different videos for you to look through. Videos I know are the thing. We'll try to keep them short. All right. Now, the next thing I'd like you to do, though, is if you're not a member of our CPP program, sign up for a CPP program, because the CPP will allow you to do and set up and create your own organization and basically make you an MSP, make you a managed service provider, because you're going to set up organizations for customers using these COVA units or Spectrum or the VMAX G4. Okay. And the way you do that once you're a CPP member is you're going to go in here, and part of the CPP is, by the way, is you can get Spectrum licenses. We have an inventory clearance shop. If you need a good camera at a reasonable cost, we have a brand new product that is in the inventory clearance shop. It's just reached the end of its life for distribution. We have price lists in here, all different kinds of things. But down at the bottom where the arrow is, it says DW Enterprise Onboarding. Our web coder guys are going to fix that. So it's going to say DW Organizational Onboarding or myDW Onboarding or something like that. It right now says that. Ignore that and go in and fill this out. Okay. Your name, company name, email, phone, primary contact, there's billing contact, mail. And what it's all we're going to do is set up and allow you to go in and get the myDW thing started. It'll also, though, if you want to, set up for a Spectrum Enterprise organization, which will have things for you. And we'll update more on this in the very near future. Here's my contact info on here, including my phone number. But don't call me. Send me text or email or something.